It's the Full Court Press with Eric Frandsen and Jason Walker.
Welcome back to the to the show that we're doing right now.
Following the local teams, breaking down the biggest games with in-depth analysis and team interviews.
There's going to be much higher expectations, sense of awareness of what we bring to the table.
Join the show by calling into 435-752-1069 or text 435-339-0321. It's the Full Court Press.
Rose, ends up, yes! Caught! Touchdown! They did it!
Welcome back to the Full Court Press here with Jason Walker and Eric Frandsen. Second hour of Thursday's show. We've got Pick 6 coming up later this hour.
Oh.
I still only come up with 2 of my 3 lines.
I'm glad you said that.
I spent most of this last break staring at my 2 lines and trying to come up with a third. It's like I've had a lot of ideas that come through, but I like trying to diversify. It's like I've got a bunch of ideas for lines with like the Utah State-Colorado State game and my other one I think is on the San Diego State-New Mexico game, but it's like I could be creative about this. Or you can go simple. We went pretty simple last week, and I swept Ajay/you. 6-0.
Selections was
skunked.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you guys want to chime in on the Full Court Press text line 435-339-0321, any of the first hour topics. A lot of Utah State and Mountain West talk, Mountain West basketball, as we went through the Aggies' victory over Wyoming, some of the good, some of the bad, how things can go going forward as the Aggies won 84-76. They had to rally in the first half, complete the rally in the second half, and then pull away late in the second. And also some injuries, other things. But this hour we'll talk Region 11 basketball, a little bit of Utah Jazz, and also about continual steps being taken toward trying to get a Major League Baseball team here in Utah.
By the way, just did a quick scan. Pac-12. We're talking about scheduling in the Mountain West. The Pac-12, they play 20 games. Now,
they have 11 opponents.
Right. There's one team that you would only play once. And so I just pulled up a random Pac-12 school, Washington State, and looked at their schedule. They only play Arizona State once. But everybody else, they play home and away.
So for them, it's just the one team they play once. Here in the Mountain West, it's 2 teams. And there's one fewer team in the basketball side of the conference.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's a lot of conferences that are obviously pretty big. And I mean, you start looking to the Big Ten and the SEC where they're going to be sitting with like 20 or 16 teams apiece. Like, they can't actually play everyone twice. Because if you play everyone in a 16-team league twice each, that's like literally your entire schedule. Because you play somewhere between 30 and 32-ish regular season games, right? That's somewhere about where it is.
Yeah, 31, 32.
And then usually you tack on a few games for conference tournament and whatnot. But yeah. So you have to only play some of the teams, but I think it's possible for the Mountain West to do a 20-game schedule. Maybe they to be honest, I think they'd end up expanding to a 20-game schedule if Oregon State, Washington State come over, and you do some kind of reverse merger, however that happens.
Yeah,
but that's for a later time.
That's down the road. 9315 texting in, a couple of texts here at the top of the show. Need to use the new football EA Sports game on the Full Court Press to kick off USU season as a prediction of how they will do. Can Eric and Jason play their butts off and make it to the playoffs so the Aggies make the playoffs that year as a prediction?
That's
they could add the deflator in the game, seeing he's often on the sidelines for USU football as a commentator.
That's something that maybe we could try. Maybe have the game do a prediction. Like we do our own score predictions, and we can throw in that one for fun. See if EA will sponsor us.
Yeah.
Probably not. I don't know.
We're big stuff.
Yeah. All the several dozen people who listen to our live show. that will consider buying the game
Right.
just so they can simulate
We'll
it.
sell dozens of units.
Dozens of units. That'll immediately become one of the higher selling games of all time.
Oh, yeah.
Because people are so hyped for it.
Oh,
Even if it's a horrible game, people will still buy it in droves. But anyway, that was just a fun topic I threw in at the end of the first hour because I thought it was a fun little thing. But another development that came out about a development is the Miller, like Larry H. Miller Group. Is that what?
Yeah.
I forget the official title, but their plans for it's the Power District, $3.5 billion that they've kind of announced, and they're releasing plans for this whole, development, which they can't say for certain because obviously they're not sure if it's going to happen, but may include a Major League Baseball stadium.
I mean, it's clear that in their renderings, they're going to build a baseball stadium, and when they made that announcement last year that they were interested and they were signaling to Major League Baseball that they want to be an expansion destination. That was nice, and they kind of had a rough rendering. This is the general area where we want it. And over the past, 7, 8 months, 9 months since then, they've continued those discussions and been jumping to the front of the line, really, for new destinations for an expansion franchise. And what they released today, wow. They are very serious about this. Not just what they're doing here is they're not just announcing plans for a baseball stadium and trying to get a baseball franchise in the state of Utah. This is very much about we're investing in a certain part of Salt Lake County that needs some investment, and we're going to improve the river, and we're going to even help the fairgrounds. And it's like all this stuff that's come together, coalescing, that will make this baseball stadium will be the centerpiece of this, as you said, a $3.5 billion project that they have in mind.
Yeah, it's very much an investment into the state of Utah, both in just the community in general and also with, potentially bringing a sports franchise here, which would obviously be another big investment in the community, so long as you're not asking the community to fork over hundreds of millions of dollars to fund a privately owned stadium.
Right.
That's my one potential gripe. But even then, if there's community funds used for this, and maybe it includes a baseball stadium, the fact that it's this entire development could make that a little more justified. Again, I detest the idea of public dollars being used for stadiums, but there's some ways in which you can sort of justify it. And this, again.
What's not clear is what is that private-public partnership in this development. They've made it clear it's a $3.5 billion 100-acre development plan, and it has state support, it has government support, but is that just, hey, thumbs up, good job, you guys, we'll support you and do what we can to make sure we're there with the shovels when it's time to dig?
Yeah, maybe help cut a bit of red tape and make things a little easier, get the bureaucracy out of the way.
Right? Is it tax incentives or is it tax money? We don't know that yet. But it's clear that the state is lining up because some other venues, some other cities around the country who want Major League Baseball teams, they have some private money kind of lined up, but they don't have public support. And they don't really have a specific site figured out. They're just like, yeah, we want to bring Major League Baseball to Portland. Okay, well, where's your money? And where are you going to put it? Do you have the right infrastructure? Do you have the city's support? Do you have the county's support? And what they're illustrating here, what the Millers are doing with what they released today, is they're knocking it out of the park. Saying,
I see what you did there.
Yeah, not only do we have the money, and we have the financial support, and we have the business support, we also have the community support, the legislative support, and a lot of these other things lined up to make this happen. And we're moving forward. And when and if that announcement comes, we could start right away.
Yeah, that's a big deal. As you say, you use the phrase like jumping to the front of the line. Salt Lake wasn't really talked about as like they were on the list of, these are the cities looking to get an MLB team. Well, Salt Lake's like, hey, yeah, by the way, we can actually have one, like, soon. Like, announce it today, and Utah can be ready for it. These other cities, they're on a list of cities that want an MLB team. Like, it's different for Salt Lake City. I'm not saying they're entirely unique in that, but the fact that they are, it's like, they're very much ready for it to happen.
Right, and they're investing a lot of money in just laying out the framework, laying the foundation for something that still doesn't even exist. It hasn't even been approved. With what they released today, the videos and the renderings that they released, they've taken a lot of time to put this together to signal to Major League Baseball we are very serious about making this happen.
Yeah, so you do have a clip. I know you went and grabbed a clip, about 7 minutes or so, talking about this. So I want to go ahead and play that and just, this is their, it's just talking about the whole project for the Power District. I don't know if I said that properly, but too much emphasis there. The Power District.
We started this process about 3 years ago to develop the Power District. We talked to a few developers, and frankly, until we talked to the Larry H. Miller company, we didn't see the passion around investing in the West Side.
The West Side has long been overlooked for economic development.
The West Side has been hungry and ready for decades.
The West Side has been like a shopping and entertainment desert.
The West Side has been neglected for too long, and gratefully the Miller family has seen the vision to invest in this geographical location in a way that's going to bring more investment into the area and lift everybody who lives on that West Side.
When we can rally around a vision, when we can do that in a way that brings people together, it becomes a really powerful catalyst.
This is going to set the entire community in a new direction. It's going to provide us economic development, infrastructure development, and educational development. So this is going to be a game changer for our community.
New job opportunities, the creation of new businesses, the supporting of existing businesses, educational opportunities, recreational opportunities. This is something that we're committed to, and we're really humbled that the stakeholders and the community leaders have come to join our initiative on this.
Incorporating a vision between the Power District and the State Fair Park to have such a facility that has a river that runs through it is an incredible draw and attraction.
The opportunity is what you see when you go to great cities around the world. You can walk along and experience the river corridor and stop and get a cup of coffee or have lunch or go see a baseball game.
Well, what a great asset. We could have used that asset before. But when you think about having a river element next to a sports park, next to a commercial center that ties the community together.
It is exciting for the entire city and frankly the whole state.
How do we elevate the importance of water? How does making the Jordan River more visible help us think about some of these critical issues in our region, saving the Great Salt Lake and those types of things?
I think the West Side is prime for this new development, and I am from the West Side. And I find that people that live there are very proud of what they've created and their community. They're close-knit. They're proud of their relationship with each other and what they've built.
I really appreciate the West Side and the Power District. And probably more importantly, I really appreciate the people of the West Side.
One of the beauties of that specific North Temple corridor is the vibrancy and diversity of cultures that are all there. This generational investment truly reflects the changing demographics of our state.
We now have about 1 in 4 of our state residents are a racial and ethnic minority. It wasn't too long ago when that was 1 in 10. So we're diversifying, we're rapidly growing, That's the new Utah.
Well, we know from the 2020 census that Utah was the fastest growing state in the nation, so Utah is on the map.
I study the Utah economy, and one of the things I've learned is that Utah's economy thrives when it has a strong center. They have a place that's the gathering place. It's where we have a lot of professional sports. And the key is that if you have a vibrant core, if you have a vibrant center, it actually helps the regional economy statewide. We live in the information age, and what grows this economy is when we have people here who either stay or come and live based on their talent in a place with high amenities. That's the economic justification for baseball in this state. People with talent can live anywhere they want. They will choose places with life quality, and Major League Baseball gives us that.
It's a gathering place for so many people and an opportunity to be a showcase as people are visiting our state for the first time to see this incredible development, as well as potentially Major League Baseball sitting right there welcoming people into the capital city.
This is a really rare opportunity to have a stadium just outside of downtown, but also between downtown and the airport. It's all accessible. There are freeways and public transportation north and south, and no real choke point there.
If we do this right, it could catalyze us into becoming what we've always known we are. And this could be the thing that allows us to stay the West Side with those things that make us so unique and so wonderful.
The state of Utah is ready for that. It requires a lot of infrastructure and investment, but we are ready, and we're going to do it right. And we're going to do it right because we believe in bringing communities together, and that's what this team will do for the state of Utah.
When I look at great cities all around the country, what I find is one of the things that makes them great is this intersection between the public sector and the private sector.
And that's what I mean when I talk about doing it the right way. I had a conversation with Gail, and Gail made the comment that we have to do better than just change. Change is easy when you're growing, but getting better, that's different. And Gail pointed out that we actually need to improve. She said in order to improve, you have to be involved. And that's exactly what the entire Miller family has always done. They are involved.
We've invested in this area because we believe in creating enriching experiences.
They've invested in this community, in this Power District area, in a way that's unique to any kind of a project I've seen in the state of Utah.
We will have a lot of variety, a lot of diversity, a lot of economic opportunity.
And so what we can do is we can coalesce all of that together at the Power District and create a sense of place that's ideally located on the west side of Salt Lake.
This is going to be a very exciting investment in sports because for a lot of our young people on the west side, sports are a gateway to education and to college.
And the Larry H. Miller Company is doing so much to invest in Utah, believe in Utah, and they're striving to make Utah a better place. Their investment in the Power District specifically is going to really change that part of the state.
We believe in that commitment because we've seen them be committed to not only the whole state of Utah, but we've seen them also committed to some parts of the west side, and we're excited for the next thing.
All right, just some music to end there.
Yeah, there you go.
So yeah, that's an investment in the Power District.
Yeah, so as a reminder, it's Rocky Mountain Power has this site, 100 acres. And what's interesting at the early part of the clip is it's one of the executives or higher uppity-ups for Rocky Mountain Power saying that they approached several different developers about what to do with their land. And so they were on the lookout for ideas, and that's what really started this. And then they approached the Millers, and they had a much grander idea. What's unfortunate in that whole clip, you don't know who's speaking when you just hear it. When you watch it, they identify all these people, but it's like city council people, the mayor of Salt Lake.
And there's only like one person I recognize now is Gail.
Yeah, the Gail Miller's there.
That's pretty much it.
One of her sons is on the clip. Governor Cox is there. A couple legislators, the chair of the Salt Lake Area Chamber of Commerce. So they have a lot of different voices and stakeholders in talking about what their plans are and what they've already done to try to figure out how to move forward with this. So it's kind of exciting that it's not just a baseball stadium, it's a whole district. And everybody keeps referring to Battery Park in Atlanta. Like, that is like the gold standard of what to do. And it's not just a baseball arena. It's everything around the arena that kind of feeds in and helps support each other out. And it's pretty exciting, to be honest. You look at these renderings, much more detailed than what they released last summer. And it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and that's what can make public funding actually sort of worth it. Because, like, you don't fund a stadium by itself because that doesn't really make a community better. It can raise community morale because sports teams have that impact, and it's hard to quantify that, but
it draws people to certain areas.
Yeah, but like people say, okay, yeah, it helps the stores and the bars and all that. It's like, okay, but it doesn't actually really help them. But if you create a bunch of those out of nowhere suddenly, okay, well, that actually does help. At least I guess theoretically in my head. I'm not an economist.
Yeah.
I just play one on radio right now.
One thing that is interesting, though, when you look at these renderings, what you do not see are large areas reserved for parking. So
I love that.
This is an area that's in it's right along tracks. It's North Salt Lake. It should be North Temple. North Temple is a very busy road that connects downtown to the airport. Redwood Road is right near there, too. So there's a lot of areas for traffic to get in and out, but there's not a lot of parking. So they're trying to rely on people getting there via alternate modes of transportation.
Yeah, public transportation and not having giant concrete forests is wonderful.
Yes.
I love that.
Really
a couple of texts on the Full Court Press text line 0366 with a point that I had not actually considered in the slightest. They said, if an MLB deal comes to fruition, let us pray we get an AL team, not the NL. I hadn't thought about that. I don't know. You follow baseball more. Would the AL be easier for him?
Well, I don't know. I mean,
Or
why?
better?
I mean, I'm more of a National League guy myself.
Yeah, you root for a
so-
National League team, and the team that is technically the one I have chosen for now is in the NL. I don't know. I wouldn't care. I don't care which league they're in. I want a baseball team here.
Yeah.
Whichever one they're in, that's the one they're going to be in. 7241 saying, I also hate the idea of public funding going to a stadium, especially since I'm in the camp that doesn't care about baseball, wouldn't go. If the billionaires want to be able to afford a stadium, they can cut down on the avocado toast and make their coffee at home to scrape up enough money for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's clear there's a significant level of private investment to make this happen, but these people don't have those kinds of zeros to their name just because they find ways to get other partners involved, and sometimes that includes the public sector as well.
Yeah, like I said, I don't want public money going toward these. But again, if you're building an entire district that makes the city and community better, even if there's not a stadium, well, that's what public funding is for making the city better. So if a stadium is part of that, well, then okay, that you're just making the whole thing better, and you throw in a baseball team. Okay, I'm on board with that. If you're just paying for a stadium, that's not worth it in the slightest.
Yeah.
It just isn't. It makes a guy like me feel better because it's sports, but there's better ways to be spending
there's a
money.
lot more to this, and that's what I think they revealed today, is that there's a lot more to this than just building a stadium. I mean, they hardly talked at all about the stadium itself. They hardly talked at all about what kind of amenities we'll have, what kind of views and sight lines, and what kind of tech and leading edge building techniques we'll use in the construction of this new arena. They didn't say anything about that.
Yeah.
Nothing. Zero about the stadium itself.
Yeah, we don't need a bunch of bells and whistles where they spend extravagantly because they have public money.
Right. This announcement today is all about the investment in that part of town for Salt Lake.
Yeah. We're up against a break, and we've got some texts coming. We'll get to those on the other side. One thing I mentioned at the beginning of the show, we have some tickets to give away for Utah State hockey.
Ooh, yes.
They're playing their final regular season home game. I think there will be more games played at Eccles Ice Rink because they're hosting regionals here, if I'm not mistaken. So it won't be the last hockey played here, but it's the last home game in the regular season. It's senior night. These Aggies are going to try and finish out the regular season at home on a bang. They're playing Weber State, who's been a historic rival for this Utah State hockey team. And so we have 4 tickets we want to give away. And we're on the subject of bringing pro teams to Utah. We figured we'd have a fun little way to give away these tickets. Just text in your best name for a potential Utah-based NHL team. And
right. I know we've been talking a lot about baseball, but since this is for a hockey game tomorrow.
Yeah. Because that's building steam, too.
Right. The potential of having an NHL franchise in Utah. What's your best name for an NHL franchise in the state of Utah?
Yeah. So we'll read those off and obviously indicate if you want the tickets as well. If you don't want the tickets, you can say that too, just because we'll pick one of those texters. We'll text you probably like tomorrow morning or something just to let you know that you won. You can come pick up the tickets because obviously the game's tomorrow at, I believe, 7.
Double checking.
It'll be tomorrow evening at some point. They're usually
sure
at 7. So we'll let you guys know that. So send in your best names, and we'll read them on there. I promise we won't make too much fun of them. You have a chance to win 4 Utah State hockey tickets. We'll continue taking those submissions throughout the rest of the show. Anyway, got to take this break. We'll be back on the other side here on the Full Court Press.
She was there for you on your first day of school and all those special moments since. Now, Mom needs you. When Mom or someone you love needs home health or hospice, give them the care they deserve. With core values of character, experience, and trust, see why we have been voted Best of Northern Utah. Contact Aegis today, 435-723-9000, or find us on the web at myaegis.com.
Winter is the perfect time to let the Allergy Clinic help with venom testing for next spring and summer. Test now and begin treatments to help with life-threatening stings from honeybees, yellow jackets, white-faced hornets, yellow hornets, and wasps. The Allergy Clinic has helped thousands of people enjoy the outdoors worry-free. The Allergy Clinic in 2 locations, North Logan and Providence, accepts most insurance, including SelectMed. Call the Allergy Clinic at 753-7880. That's 753-7880.
Security. It's the most precious thing you can give your home, especially if it's guaranteed. No cheap locks, no weak keys, no inadequate hardware, just the expertise and precision and security. Beezer Lock & Key believes there's no place like a safe home, and no home safer than one secured by them. It may seem they only sell locks and keys, but what they really sell is peace of mind. Search Beezer Lock & Key or go to 4th North and 1st West and just add confidence.
Hello, Cache Valley. This is Tom Hale at Blue Sky Restoration, formerly ARS. Remember, got a mess? Call ARS. We want to let you know that here at Blue Sky, we still have the same great staff, we provide the same excellent service, and are ready to help you in your time of need with water mitigation, mold remediation, or a fire. From Blue Sky Restoration, thank you for trusting our staff and myself for over 35 years with your disaster needs, and we will continue to be here for you.
Al Sporting Goods President's Day sale has savings up to 70% off. Stay warm on the slopes with 50% off ski outerwear. Top brands like Columbia and the North Face. Ladies, stay cozy with the Columbia Heavenly Jacket starting at just $74.99. Grab the North Face Youth Pareto Hooded Jacket, $49.99. That's 50% off. Al's keeps you heated with mobile warming apparel and gloves, all 50% off. Boulder Gear jackets for the entire family, only $33 while supplies last. Base layers from Smartwool, Blackstrap, and Columbia, 50% off. Terramar base layers starting at $14.99. Online at als.com. It's Al Sporting Goods President's Day sale. Every sport, every season.
100 plus businesses, thousands of people, free parking, Main Street access. It's the Cache Valley Media Group Home and Garden Show presented by Anderson Seed and Garden at the Eccles Ice and Events Center, March 22nd and 23rd. If you are a home and garden business, from crafts to home building or excavation to emergency preparedness, this show is for you. Google Cache Valley Home and Garden Show or call 752-1390 for details.
Breaking down the biggest games with in-depth analysis and team interviews. It's the Full Court Press with Eric Frandsen and Jason Walker.
Welcome back to the Full Court Press. Taking submissions on a name for a potential Utah-based NHL team, since that's building up steam. Of course, we were just talking about a lot of progress being made, or I don't know if it's a lot of progress, but a lot of renderings and plans being made for a push to get an MLB team here. Which, NHL seems like almost all but guaranteed, and I'm just like waiting on the announcement for it to happen. For MLB, it's still a question. But the Miller Group certainly in Big League Utah making a massive push and potentially billions of dollars in investments put toward a potential team.
Yes.
And we had a couple texts on that. 0366 was talking about how if you do get an MLB team, he wants an AL team, not NL. Also text saying NL equals co-ed. So I guess the NL isn't good or something.
Come on.
Keep making fun of the NL. And you mentioned names for Utah-based NHL team. You have a chance to win 4 free Utah State hockey tickets. We'll take those submissions via the text line, and we'll text somebody and tell them they won. I'll pick your guys' numbers out of a hat.
Yeah. 0366 Utah Skates.
Yeah, it's not bad. And the 2 Z's at the end, like
Utah
the Jazz.
Skates.
The Skates. This is like peak 90s coolness. The Skates.
2603 Utah Goblins. An ode to Goblin Valley.
Interesting.
Okay. 6436 The Crease.
Okay.
Okay.
There's some ones. I'm surprised we haven't seen a Utah Coyotes because that seems to be the one. Because
Yeah,
there's a thought that Arizona, with how much of a crap show the Arizona Coyotes.
It's a
have
real
been.
mess. I think the big challenge, because I had some people asking me about this today, the big challenge there is the NHL franchise that's in Arizona, the Coyotes. They bounced around, and they're right now playing on the campus of Arizona State. It's like a 5,000-seat arena. It's not ideal for an NHL franchise.
Basically, it's like if they were playing in the Maverick Arena. Is that what
like
it is?
the Maverick,
where the Grizzlies play.
Yeah. So I've had some people ask me, like, what about that? Could they relocate? Well, the question is that the team could conceivably move to Utah as a more favorable location, but who owns the team? Because it's still the same ownership. They're just looking for a new place. Ryan Smith, he wants his own deal.
Yeah. Well, I think in that case, it would be the NHL stepping in and forcing the Arizona group to sell the team. That seems to be the scenario that people are envisioning, is they're basically forced to sell the team, sell it to Ryan Smith, move it to Utah.
Right.
Not that ownership group would move it to Utah, because that ownership group wanted to stay in Arizona. That's why they haven't given up the ghost yet. But, maybe it probably
the players'
should.
union continues to express some concern there.
Yeah, so that's where the league would potentially step in and force them to sell it to Smith. That's where the relocation happens. Because if it was that ownership group moving it to Utah, I'd probably hate that. Because I don't even follow hockey all that much, and I know exactly how terrible that group is.
You've not proven to be good owners.
It'd be like if you moved the A's with their ownership group to Utah. I'd hate that too.
Yes.
Want the Millers to be owning an MLB team here and Ryan Smith to be owning an NHL team. That's what you want.
5634 Utah Seagulls for the NHL. That's a name that's been tossed around for the baseball team, but 5634 advocating for the NHL.
Yeah, Seagulls, some kind of bee adjacent name. Of course, obviously with the bees themselves, it's hard to do that one.
Where do you play into the Power District somehow? The Utah Power?
I don't know if that works, but maybe you could. I don't
Shockers.
know. Yes, Shockers. There's a few that you can come up with. Maybe you do like a fan poll, or we'll submit this list here.
Yeah, of course that's baseball. We're asking for
baseball or
hockey.
We're asking specifically about
ideas. Hockey. By the way, 2122 texted in. Billionaires are against socialism until they need a new stadium.
Oh yeah, I forgot to read that one.
Yeah. And then also submitting a couple ideas here. Utah Silver Wolves, Utah Wolverines, Utah Freeze.
I like Utah Freeze. That's a good one. 6436 explained the crease. Obviously, it's a hockey term, but explaining. So the shaded area directly in front of a hockey goal is called the crease. This is where the hockey goalie gets busy stopping goals, where opposing players are prohibited from interfering with the goalie.
Yeah, I know it's an area on the ice, but
that sounds like a reference to
team after that.
That sounds like a reference to Utah's liquor laws.
The crease.
Describing that, I was like prohibiting other people. Like that's but it's possible. Yeah, name me a team after that area is kind of, I don't know.
Then you call them Utah Icing?
Utah Icing. Name after a penalty.
7994 texting in. We used to have the Utah Eagles as a minor league hockey. I would like that name back.
That'd be nice.
It could be interesting.
Funny thing is 2122. Two of those names, Silver Wolves, that's a high school here in Utah, Fremont. Wolverines is both a university, and I'm pretty sure there's a high school.
There's
named
a high school
somewhere.
Wolverines. Yeah.
But like I said, Freeze is a good one. Is there already a Freeze somewhere in some hockey? I feel like that's
not that I'm aware of. I don't know the whole minor league, how many different names are
Or
out
name it
there.
like after something in the mountains, or I don't know, or some really cold area, or like the Utah Salt Flats.
The Utah juniper.
The Utah pine trees, blue spruce.
Utah blue spruce.
Except Utah's
the Utah granite.
Yeah, the problem is because blue spruce is like, I think the state tree, and I'm pretty sure it's a tree like more native to Colorado.
Yeah, juniper is more native to Utah.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. So anyway, I forgot where we were going this segment. I guess it was just a chance to read off all these texts about different hockey names.
Yeah, if you want to go see Utah State hockey, play Weber State on Friday. We have a 4-pass to go to see their final home game of the regular season. It's going to be senior night as well at the Eccles Ice Arena. 4 tickets, and to get those, to qualify, you need to text us on the Full Court Press text line a potential name for a new NHL franchise in the state of Utah.
1570 suggesting the Utah Sage. Is that a reference to the person sage or the plant?
Probably sagebrush.
Sagebrush. The Utah Sagebrush. Dun. Start doing the Scotsman.
Start doing the Scotsman.
We'll do the Scotsman at the NHL games.
Grows.
There you go. 5452. Combining a couple of the names, the Utah Frozen Goals.
Wow.
There we go. We're getting creative now.
Okay.
I kind of like that one too. The freeze and I don't know. Maybe it's just too cliche because it's hockey and they use a lot of things like you got the Frozen 4, Frozen Fury, all that. But it fits so well though. I like it.
Utah Ice.
Utah Ice. You also have to incorporate somehow the greatest snow on earth. Like somewhere in the company's marketing and things like that.
The greatest ice on earth.
There you go. Maybe that like kind of a nickname for the stadium or something. I don't know.
Little mini
Obviously,
slogan.
it wouldn't work really as a name, obviously, but somewhere in the marketing and stuff for the team, you got to incorporate that somehow.
Absolutely, that'd be smart. A couple more coming
Get a lot more. We're getting flooded.
Another coming in. 8026 Utah Ski Birds.
Not bad, not bad.
Okay. 9315 Utah Snowflake, or the Utah Wolverines, due to them finding Wolverines last year in Utah. P.S. Can't use the ticket.
Okay. We won't choose
Good
you.
to know. Thank you for letting us know.
Yeah, if you can't use it, just let us know because we'll get up on this computer and I'll just text one of you through this.
1570 Utah Yetis. I've heard that recommended a few different times. 2122, another one, Utah Black Diamonds and Utah Mountaineers.
Yeah, so the Black Diamonds, that's a reference for obviously big ski culture here.
Yeah,
so.
I actually like that a lot. Can't use the tickets. Thank you for letting us know. 2122. 9952 Utah Brine Shrimp.
There you go. That's Saltaire FC's logo. Thank you very much.
Is it really?
Yeah, or it's on their logo basically, the fake soccer club.
Yeah.
Of which I have a jersey for.
Oh, I've seen you wear that.
Yeah, I know. I wear it at the office every now and again. It's a good shirt. It's a high quality shirt. I have more fake soccer jerseys than I have real soccer jerseys. It's kind of sad.
That's funny.
Or at least soccer jerseys. Well, maybe I don't have any anymore, but ones they wore as a kid. But that's just rec soccer.
If you want to continue to send those in, we'd appreciate it. If you want to go see Utah State hockey, take on Weber State Friday night, the Eccles Ice Arena, send in an idea for what would be a name for an NHL franchise in the state of Utah. 435-339-0321. You can also submit an idea even if you can't go. Just let us know.
Yeah, just let us know, as obviously many of you have. We do need to take a break. We'll keep fielding these texts on the other side. We'll also talk about Region 11 basketball as things got settled as far as region titles earlier this week. That's all coming up next here on the Full Court Press.
Imagine your wedding day. Elegant, simple, yet stunning, stress-free. It's your day. It's all about you. Whether you're looking for small and simple or have a grander idea, the Riverwoods Conference Center will accommodate your every need. Choose the inside ballroom elegance or outside along the natural decor of the beautiful Logan River. A Riverwoods event planner will work personally with you to make sure your event is exactly how you've envisioned it. The Riverwoods Conference Center, where your happily ever after begins. Google Riverwoods Conference Center or call 750-5 5151.
Do you have a fireplace or stove that isn't working right? Don't wait until winter to get it fixed. Get ahead of the game and get your fireplace or stove serviced now by the best of Northern Utah winner, Advanced Fireplace and Stove. They service everything from Quadra-Fire pellet stoves to heat and glow fireplaces. Get a 20% discount on your next service and labor when you mention this ad. Call 752-7272 or go to advancedfireplaceandstove.com. Advanced Fireplace and Stove, where comfort is their business.
Winter. JM Mechanical knows winter in Cache Valley and just how to fix, tune up, and replace problems you may be having with your home heating system. JM Mechanical is Cache Valley's most trusted name for repair work on every brand of residential and commercial heating units. Fast, 24-hour heating service is available in Box Elder, Cache County, and Franklin County with 100% satisfaction guaranteed and upfront pricing. Call JM Mechanical at 563-6267. That's 563-6267.
Attention artisan eyewear fans. Crystal Vision is gearing up for their annual trip in search of 2024's latest eyeglass frames. To prep, their shelves will be undergoing a major transformation to make way for the new and upcoming styles. Crystal Vision is offering 50% off select current styles of handcrafted eyeglasses through February. Don't miss your chance to be fit by their expert opticians with one-of-a-kind artisan eyewear at a fraction of the price. Craftsmanship, detail, and savings. It's all waiting for you at Crystal Vision on 14th North or crystalvision.com.
With fresh snow comes fresh deals at Murdoch Hyundai. Make some fresh tracks to our winter sales event. Receive 0% for 3 years on a new Tucson or Santa Fe. Every new Hyundai comes with America's Best Warranty, a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty, and owner's assurance. When you walk through our doors, you feel like family. At Murdoch Hyundai, in Logan, Linden, and Murray, and online at murdochhyundai.com.
Call 866-628-3065 or see dealer for complete details. Offer expires 2/29/24.
This show is different. The Doug Gottlieb Show.
Make him say, make him say, ah! Ladies and gentlemen.
Now, the argument for Belichick would be this. That, when Belichick's had a quarterback, obviously he was very, very good. And he's the opposite of what you've had previously. Brandon Staley was only in the NFL for like 6-7 years before he became a defensive coordinator, then all of a sudden was propelled to being a head coach.
The Doug Gottlieb Show.
Weekday afternoons from 1 to 3 on Sports Talk Radio, 106.9 FM, 1390 AM. The Fan. Northern Utah and Southern Idaho's home for sports. It's the Full Court Press on Sports Talk Radio, 106.9 FM, 1390 AM. The Fan.
Welcome back to the Full Court Press. We continue to take submissions on a potential name for an NHL hockey team. If that were to happen, you have a chance to win some Utah State hockey tickets, so feel free to submit one. We'll text one of you guys tomorrow morning. If you can't use the tickets, you can still send in a name and just let us know. 7441, first-time texter, Salt Lake Locust.
Okay. All right.
There you go. They're call them the Mormon Crickets.
Yeah.
The Salt Lake Mormon Crickets. That'll be your hockey team. Be perfect. I want to talk about Region 11 basketball, though, as we shift away from the text for the moment. Last night's games, some exciting ones. Logan getting a close win at Bear River, and then
in overtime.
Yeah, in overtime, and then Ridgeline getting a win, and I suddenly forget the other game was Green Canyon
beat Skyview.
Yeah, beat Skyview. That's what I was thinking it was, but for some reason I was thinking Ridgeline was playing
Ran
Skyview.
away from them.
But Ridgeline was actually playing at Mountain Crest. That was a pretty close game as well, but here were the final moments of that game, particularly the implication of the final score.
Anderson, inbound to Hess. Arnell, can he get a three off before the buzzer? He will, but it's wide left, and it would have been too little too late. Ridgeline is the Region 11 regular season champions, 51-46, as they knocked off Mountain Crest in Hiram.
So yeah, that's Jake Ellis on the call, 107.7 KLZX, home of the Mountain Crest Mustangs. You can also watch the replay of that game on CacheValleyDaily.com. But yeah, Ridgeline defeating Mountain Crest, securing the Region 11 title. Ridgeline actually the region champions in both boys and girls basketball, as Ridgeline girls defeated Mountain Crest earlier this week on Tuesday. The boys defeating Mountain Crest on Wednesday, and both of those wins secured, well, actually, I think Ridgeline may have already secured it outright, but that was their final regular season game. So, yeah, I'm sure they had a little trophy ceremony there, cut down the nets.
Cut the nets.
Ridgeline didn't secure it. The Ridgeline boys didn't secure it until that victory over Mountain Crest.
Yeah, so Ridgeline boys 8-1 on the year in region play, and Logan coming in second at 6-3. Well, currently, I mean, they're going to be second.
Yeah, they're going to be second because
no
the win against Bear River secured that, because Bear River was in third, and had they won that, they could have potentially tied, depending on results on Friday. But Logan securing second place with that win over Bear River, and kind of unfortunate we didn't have a battle for first place. It would have been the last week of the regular season, because had Ridgeline not clinched it, and maybe if they'd lost the game earlier, they'd potentially be battling Logan for that. But Ridgeline taking care of business early to set up a game without too much consequence on Friday between Logan and Ridgeline, the first and second place teams.
Yeah, so the games that will take place on Friday are still to improve your position with the final RPI that will be released Saturday morning in the playoff brackets. Green Canyon, they're 4-5. So is Bear River in region play. Mountain Crest had a really solid start to the year, but they have struggled a little bit in region play. Skyview trying to find their way through the season so far after dealing with some tough injuries. But this the last game of the regular season still can be meaningful for some of these teams, whether you get a first-round bye or if you're going on the road or if you're hosting in the first round.
And I think it's also a chance to build good momentum, because Green Canyon's doing that, where they've built a lot of really positive momentum. I think they're on 3 games straight they've won. After like losing 4 out of 5, they started the region 1-5. Their only win over Skyview. And now they've won most of the games in the back half of their schedule, including one over Logan, which is part of their 3-game win streak.
Yep.
Of course, for Logan, they've lost 3 out of their last 5 games. Barely beat Bear River to get that second win in their last 5 games. So they need to build positive momentum, and for sure way to do that would be to get a win over Ridgeline. Not going to get you the region title, but it gets you in the right step forward, especially offensively, where they've really struggled this back half of the region schedule. Get yourself on the right track. They will get a first-round bye because they can't fall that far in the RPI. They were number 3 in the final public RPI they had. But you want to go into the state tournament with the right momentum. Obviously all these teams.
Yeah, Green Canyon, they hit a spot where they just struggled really offensively. 38 points against Bear River, 36 against Ridgeline. And then they turned it around. They've scored 61, 62, and 69 in their 3 straight victories. Now, their final game, it's a rematch with Bear River. Very low scoring, very defensive game. Bear River won that one 40-38.
Yeah, that was Green Canyon scored 2 points in the fourth quarter of that game.
So that'll be really interesting to see how that plays out, because both those teams are 4-5 in region play. So this is one of those where it could be a big factor as to where you're seated in the 4A playoffs.
Yeah, especially because both of those, again, in the last RPI that was public, they were basically right next to each other in the RPI. Now things will have shifted a little bit. Yeah, they're around 5 or 6, give or take, but they were both like just about right next to each other, so it could have an impact there. So we got to take another quick break. On the other side, we will have Pick 6. We'll try and predict the 6 things that we think will happen over the weekends. Coming up next here on 106.9 FM, 1390 AM on The Fan, and the Full Court Press.
This is Ryan at My Mattress. President's Day sale is our biggest sale of the year. We've been planning this one for months, Cache Valley. This week determines which end of the valley will sleep better. Will it be my store, the north, or will it be Travis's store in the south? Since I'm the one talking, come on, north, let's do this. The truckloads are here. Purple, Sealy, and Tempur-Pedic are in stock. The President's Day sale and bragging rights. There's never a better time to buy better sleep than right now at My Mattress at the President's Day sale.
Don't get caught without power to your home or business. This is Tyler with Golden Spike Electric. We offer Generac backup generators to keep your home or business warm, avoiding frozen pipes, loss of valuable food, or even a flooded basement. Golden Spike Electric is certified and factory trained, so you know it will be installed right and properly maintained. Contact Golden Spike Electric so you'll never be without power again. Online at gsegenerators.com. We also service other brands, Golden Spike Electric and Generac, power you can count on.
The Full Court Press. Connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, and online at 1069thefan.com.
Crystal Vision is making room on their shelves for the new and upcoming styles. Select style frames are 50% off. Crystal Vision, that's Crystal with a K, is on 14th North in Logan. I believe they're a 3-time gold medal winner in Best of Northern Utah. So you can obviously trust them. And Best of Northern Utah 2024 coming up soon, too. We're going to have voting open soon, I think in like a week or so, or nominations. Nominations. So that'll be coming up shortly. And coming up right now, you've got our weekly little feature, the Pick Six. The 6 things we think will happen over the weekend.
I bet you $20 I can get you gambling before the end of the day. No way.
It's the Full Court Press Pick Six.
Ever since March Madness ended, I am so bored.
6 things we think will happen this weekend.
I don't know how the whole betting thing started, but it's fun.
All right, Erica, I won by a narrow margin last week.
Yeah, very narrow.
I'll let you go first.
Okay. All right. 3-pointers made in the NBA All-Star game on Sunday. 40 and a half.
40 and a half. Goodness gracious. Doesn't feel like it's way off, though. I'm going to go under.
I'm going to take the over. There were more than that made last year.
Okay.
But I've still brought it down compared to the number last year.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, USU free throw attempts at Colorado State. 22 and a half.
I'm going to go under.
I'm going to take the over.
All right.
And then Taylor Hendricks points tonight against the Golden State Warriors. 8.5.
I'm going to go under.
I'll take the over.
All right. Here are my lines. Great Osibor. Field goal attempts against Colorado State. Over under 11.5.
I'm going to take the over.
I'm going to take the under.
Okay.
Taking the under on all of them so far. San Diego State taking on New Mexico tomorrow. There's not a line, so I just pulled one out of nowhere and said San Diego State by 6.5 against New Mexico.
That's a good line.
Thank you. That makes me feel very good.
I'm going to take San Diego State with the over.
You can take San Diego State as well. And then between Region 11 boys and girls basketball, the final RPI will be revealed on Saturday. How many top 5 teams from Region 11 will there be between boys and girls? I see the line at 3.5.
Ooh, I was just trying to do the math in my head. And I was like, I can think of maybe 3, so I'll take the over.
I'm going to take the over as well. All right, tiebreaker. Utah State's rank in the AP poll. Now, I'm going to expand this to say, if they're, if you expand it beyond 25th, because we can kind of rank them 26th. Right now, they'd be kind of 26th. Because I set the line at 29.5 to where they would be in the AP poll. Over or under? Like, under being they'll be better, 28th going up.
So if I say under, that
would be better. So, if they were to get into the top 25, that would be under.
Okay. So you set the line at 29.5?
Yeah. So, if they lose against Colorado State, they probably drop below that. Or maybe they just barely sneak under it. And if they win, they're going to jump the other way.
I'm going to take the under.
All right. Oh, I got the over. There we go. That's the pick 6.
A couple more minutes here quickly. Some more texts coming through. Some more names about a hockey team in Utah to get these tickets for USU hockey on Friday. 2151 Salt Lake Legends, Salt Lake Rage, Utah Choppers. Make the mascot a helicopter or something. Regardless, can't wait till this hopefully becomes a reality.
Yeah, I'm really happy about it. I know I kind of prefer an MLB team. Although, granted, I'm not a ton of a baseball or hockey guy, but I'd probably end up becoming much more of one if we get those, which that would happen to a lot of people.
Yeah. 6436. On another note, any chance you guys might talk the NASCAR Daytona 500 races coming Sunday? Hockey and NASCAR is what gets me through the dead time until college football starts up again.
Now wouldn't be the best time for me to note that I was crapping on the Daytona 500 because qualifying for that was happening right at the start of the Utah State-Wyoming game. So I was like, why are we watching qualifying for Daytona? There's Utah State basketball to be played.
I can tell you that I really don't know much about it. I know it's coming up.
Joey Logano, I think, won the pole position.
That's about all I know.
Unfortunately, this is... I don't think we can talk a whole lot about NASCAR because we know nothing about it.
I'm not qualified.
If you remind us, I will look it up, and we'll talk about it on Monday. We'll see what I can do just for you, 6436.
Yeah,
I'll try.
I cannot give you a preview. You would not like it because it's without any knowledge.
And I can't give you much
or
of
respect.
And I can't give you much of a recap.
Yeah.
Zoom. Cargo fast.
Lots of left turns.
Lots of left turns. Yeah. Anyway, that's going to do it for us here on the Full Court Press. Thank you so much for texting in. We'll let the winner know who got the tickets, and we'll talk on Friday.